Hello, hello, hello. So I'm back with another video. Welcome in. Um, this is going to be my second series. So, I've been on YouTube for quite some time. I was actually just watching an old video of mine about, it was titled Seven Ways to Find Out If You're Insecure. And it was interesting to watch it. It was from 4 years ago. um, but this second series that I'm doing is related to confidence, and the title of the series is going to be called, or is called, Soft Power: Confidence Without Performance. And so, welcome to episode 1. I know the first series that I did was pretty much just all visual content with only audio. However, a few people have asked me to do a series with me on camera. So this is me on camera. um, and so I wanted to do this series revolving around confidence and how that shows up in our personalities, within our nervous system. Also, how the lack of it can affect our performance in various areas of our lives. And so, yeah, so that's what this series is going to be about. And let me just say this, okay? Confidence isn't necessarily loud, okay? And it's not aggressive either. There's nothing to prove when you're actually confident, when you're embodying that energy, because confidence is an energy. And confidence is also regulated by our nervous system. I wanted to go more in depth with this topic only because I feel like, a lot of the times when people think about confidence, it comes off as very performative. Like, you take the nice pictures, you got the angles, you're doing all of these things. But what is actually happening internally? Like, do you believe in this character that you're trying to portray, or are you her? And so I think that the higher your confidence is, the more likely you are to honor yourself, honor your boundaries, mean what you say. It's more of a energetic experience that other people get to observe. There's nothing necessarily that you need to do to prove to people that you're confident. However, the lack of it will just be just as obvious as the presence of it. And so when it comes to the nervous system and the brain is always going to look for things to protect us, right? A lot of people talk about intuition and that gut feeling. However, when it comes to confidence or lack of confidence, when you lack it and you're in this performative framework or mindset, your nervous system is going to be the first indicator of whether you are what you think you are, or you are who you're trying to convince other people that you are. So when you're actually confident, there's a calmness to you. There's a knowing even that, I just show up. I exist. I am who I am. People like me. People don't like me. However, when you lack confidence, internally it feels extremely different. Okay? There's going to be some anxiety there. There's even the flight or fight, or fight or flight is going to show up. Okay? You're going to feel on edge. Even you may even experience something called imposter syndrome, where you feel like you don't belong. There's a lot of different things that are going to show up, okay, when you're actually performing confidence. And that's why it's so important to do these kind of check-ins with yourself to see, okay, what am I feeling in this moment? Is my heart like, why is my heart beating so fast? Or why am my palms sweaty? Or why am I feeling this dis-ease? Those are your indicators of something that needs to be worked on, something that needs to be processed mentally. And it's all about becoming better, right? Evolving. We're not born with confidence. We're just born and we exist. Our caregivers, our experiences, our achievements, the risks that we take, all of those things help build confidence. And so a lot of the times we prevent ourselves from, that growth. If we lack confidence, we prevent ourselves from actually conquering those fears and, working through those anxieties by not putting ourselves in the environments that will actually push us to, listen to our body and understand what's happening. And so that's also where confidence is built, by kind of just throwing yourself into the mix, sink or swim. Sometimes they have, well, not sometimes, but a lot of the times when they're teaching babies to swim, after like a few sessions, they kind of just, it seems really cruel too. I don't know if you guys have ever watched any of those videos, but they kind of just throw the baby in the water. And they're like, telling the parent, like, no, the baby's okay. And the baby will, like, be startled at first because they're like, oh my gosh, you threw me in the water, you threw me in the pool. But the baby will put themselves on their back and then float or swim or do whatever. And that's generally the concept of, what happens when we are intentionally exposing ourselves to new experiences. We may lack the confidence, but we have the tools based on prior experiences that will help us swim and not sink or drown. And so, so I just wanted to do a quick video. I don't even know if I'm going to label this as episode 1 per se, but I did want to get a video out there because I am starting the series like now. It was supposed to start the beginning of this month. It is February 21st today, 2026. And my goal initially was to start February 1st with the next series because I ended the first series December 31st is when I posted my last video. And so the break is over. I know on Netflix and all these other platforms, they make you guys wait like 2 or 3 years for the next season, but I'm not doing that to y'all. So if you locked in, you invested, like, I will keep the videos coming for this series. I believe for this series, I have 12 episodes. So it's still kind of up in the air on if this is going to count as a introductory video or if it's going to be considered episode 1. I believe I may use this as an introductory video, only because it was very impromptu, and you know, I want to put some more thought into the message that I'm trying to convey. However, I did want to, and I'm a little tired, y'all. I was hanging out tonight. But the video is done. The video will be uploaded. If you're not following me on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook, it's the same name as I am on YouTube. Same name on all platforms. Every time a new platform comes out, I join it. So if you want to know if I'm on a platform, just search for Melissa's, and I'm probably on there. Even if I'm not active, I'm an early adapter. So yes, I do believe this is okay. Made my decision. This is going to be the introductory video of series 2, which is going to be all about confidence. And we're going to dive deep into this series. So hopefully you stay tuned. And I'm not going to lie, I had fun with my last series, with, you know, kind of playing around with the visuals and the music and all of those things. However, I do understand that YouTube is one of those platforms where you have the free reign to be as expressive as you want, as creative as you want. And while I may not necessarily be an artist, you know, when it comes to drawing and all of that, I do consider myself to have a very artistic mind and a creative mind. And that is usually expressed in my thinking. And so I try to kind of connect visuals, music, and words to express my creativity, to convey a thought or energy that I'm having. So I'm going to play around with what I'm doing here. But for the most part, I believe the confidence series for series 2 is going to be me and you having a conversation. Okay? So I will see you in the next video, and thank you for watching.